Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Newcastle United Women's Football Podcast with Newcastle Fans TV. My name is Julia, and I'm going to be here leading the line tonight. But I have my fabulous co-host with me on my right. It might be your left, I don't know. I have the fabulous Lee, and then we have the one and only Joe Kenja.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Kenja. I read. Woo! That's an
What an
entrance.
entrance. Brilliant. We will hopefully have Dale joining us as well, but we will have a few technical issues, so just bear with us if anybody drops in and out throughout the night. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully, you're all excited for today's episode. We have a really fun episode last week. I know last week the guys did an episode ranking the players out of 10 on their season, but today's episode is going to be a really fun one. We are going to be going through the whole team list, even the players who've been out on loan, and we're going to give our opinion on whether we would keep the players or sell them on for the next season. Obviously, we've had a really good finish in the Women's Championship. We're going to be absolutely gunning to get that promotion next season. So it's going to be key to definitely be signing in some bigger players, hopefully, maybe some from WSL teams. So it's going to be really interesting to see who does stay in the team, who goes. Obviously, we already know some players have made the decision to leave, but we're still going to be saying if we personally would have kept or sold them. So why not start with a Newcastle legend, Grace Donnelly? And I'm going to come over to Joe because I know Joe's going to have a good opinion on this one. So Joe, would you have kept or sold Grace Donnelly if the decision was up to you?
You see, for me, I had the feeling that Grace was going to be a coach going forward. I know she's
Mhm.
still got a few years ahead of her, especially as a goalkeeper. They obviously usually go to an older age. So I probably would have, given the circumstances, if you asked us at the end of the season, I would have been like, no, keep Grace, keep Grace. She needs to be here. But honestly, looking at it, I'm like, I think it's the right decision to let her leave the club. Um, to let her go elsewhere and get some first team play. I mean, we could have loaned her out maybe. Do you know what? I would have loaned her out, and
Mhm.
then bring her back on a coaching deal. That would be me with Grace.
Nice. I like that. I think that's definitely a great way that it could have worked. Obviously, we have lost her, but that would have been Joe's opinion. So, coming over to Lee, let's ask you about Jodie Bartle. Would you keep or sell Jodie? Obviously, we haven't seen her much on the team news this season, but I'd love to hear what you think.
Oh, you've given me the pressure one because he's obviously got the shirt of Jodie Bartle in it.
We
He's
know
gonna
Joe's answer.
when I Joe's answer. With a heavy heart, I would say let go, and because I think it's well documented that she hasn't been seen for what 6 months or so. Well, since January really. So no, 4 month or so. But look, she's well liked amongst the fan base. She is a fan herself. She took it on board. She was dressed up black and white. She had the scarves. She was in all of the commentary, you name it. Didn't play too many games even last season, but and she's posting a lot more now on social media, which is good. That tells me that mental health seems to be a lot more improved. So yeah, it's with a heavy heart because of her injuries, because of the situation at the club. I would let her go, but it's not an easy one. I don't feel that one because she is really really well liked.
Yeah, it's never nice to see a player go or to, know they have to, but sometimes I think even they know for the benefit of the club that it's time for them to move on. So next player I'm going to give you my opinion on is Demi Stokes, and I think I am definitely going to keep Demi. I think when she joined the team, I thought we were going to hear a lot more from her, see a lot more from her on the pitch, but I think maybe because obviously she's had that experience at Man City with the Lionesses, she's probably putting in a lot of work in the background in the dressing room, giving the girls all of these tips and tricks from this international level football. Obviously, she's scored a few goals. She's a defender, so we're not going to see loads of goals from her. I have seen some great shots, stop and blocks. So I think personally, I'm going to keep Demi. All right, moving on to our other captain. Obviously, Demi's sometimes captain, but our other captain, Amber Keegan-Stubbs. And I'm going to come back to Joe. Are you keeping Amber or are you letting her go?
You keep Amber all day long. No one in the right mind lets go of Amber Stobbs. Not at the level she's at right now. Not at the way she's playing. The consistency she has. She's always an impact when she comes on the pitch. Nah, you keep Amber Stobbs. Like she's a long stay for Newcastle. I would love to see Amber finish her career here at Newcastle, and I'm pretty certain
Mhm.
Amber would like that as well.
Yeah, I think so. All right, moving on to Liv. Lee, I'd love to know what's your thoughts on Liv. Are you keeping her? Are you letting her go? Maybe out on loan? What do you think?
Oh, it's another toughie. Why are you giving me the toughies, Denise? Come on, hell, man. Um, it's a tough one because again, this season she's had less injuries than she's probably had. But we did the video last week, and she's second choice. I feel in every position where she plays now, whether that's right back or centre back. I think there's people ahead of her.
Mhm,
I would probably just keep her, just as squad depth, because I still think she's a very much a capable defender. But
mhm,
it's a very, very big season for her next season. If the club decide to keep her on. Obviously, it's well documented that her partner Grace is heading out the door. So whether that
mhm,
influences her decision or not to stay, we'll have to wait and see. But she's talented, man. She just have all the talent. Like in TR3, she was absolutely class. She got obviously what was it
mhm.
the other year? I mean, we'll not go into that. Like the debate and how it gets picked and stuff like that, because we'll be here all night. But big season for her. But I would keep her because she's versatile.
Yeah, I think it's one where there's like a lot to prove and, to show that she can be a contender to be in a starting 11 or, to come on and make the difference in a match. So moving on, again, I'm going to give you my opinion, and this one is for Alicia Body. So I'm a bit torn with this one, and I think it's tricky when we've got players who've been out with injury because we haven't been able to see a lot from them. So with Alicia, we know she's a great player. Obviously, we know she's played that international football for England in the I think it was under 21s, under 23s, I can't quite remember. So I'm thinking possibly for me with Alicia, it might be a loan season, not to, maybe to another club, even in the championship or the tier below, just while she gets back into playing football. But she's definitely not getting sold. So I think maybe a loan, or I do think she's one who will be able to get back into the starting 11 easier than Liv would. So definitely keeping Alicia.
Oh, I
Joe,
thought you
you
were
look
saying you
like
were
you've
going.
got something to say.
I thought you were going to say you were loaning. I thought you were going to end it with a loan. I'm like, no, you do not loan. You do not let her leave black and white right now. No chance. But you said you're going to keep her right, and
Yeah, I'm
I can.
definitely going to keep her.
That's our read. That's our read. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Definitely. Now, I
No
think
problem.
the next decision on this one, Joe's getting a lot of the easy decisions. We've got Shania Hales. I mean, if Joe says he's selling Shania Hales, he's crazy, but let's see what he thinks.
Yeah, loan Shania Hales out. She needs more experience on the pitch. It doesn't make a big enough impact in the squad. No, look, all day long, Shania Hales. It's an easy keep. The goals she's got on record this season, 2 hat-tricks. Yes, a lot of people say one of them's a little bit easier, but honestly, nah, you keep her. I think she's another one who, as long as she keeps up the form, she is going to become the Alexander Isak of the men. She's going to
Mm,
become the one who everyone will want when we get to the WSL. People will want her. They will be looking for her.
yeah,
There'll be rumors about who can get her. We keep her all day long, all day.
I think
absolutely.
just to butt in and say that I think there's some people saying that she can go missing in games. But look at her stats, man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
15 goals in 20 games. I mean, that's 3 in every 4. Have another crack at a computer for but then you've got to keep Shania Hales, and she will stay.
Oh,
Yeah,
without doubt.
100%. Right, moving on. We have Emma Kelly. So, Lee, let's see what you think. Are you keeping her? Are you loaning her? Are you selling her? What are you doing with Emma Kelly?
I'll keep her. I think we do need probably a little bit of more strengthening in that centre midfield. I feel maybe another, no pun intended, another body that's in there. Um, but she is quality. She's had a lot of injuries this season, which has gone against. And even when she was coming back, she was getting a place on the bench. So it's an interesting one for her. But I would keep her. But I think we'll find out at the start of next season whether she's going to last at the club or not. I hope she does because I think she is quality. She's got an unbelievable through ball. As your cat wants to appear, doesn't
Hello.
behind your head.
Hello.
Oh,
Ah,
Look at that, man. Oh, she's gorgeous, man. Everyone in the comments, give a rating of Juliet's cat.
it's
we'll
Come on.
definitely keep the
celebrating
cat.
that turn.
We'll definitely keep the
Look at that.
cat.
Look at that.
But
Yeah, so we're keeping Emma Kelly.
I will keep Emma Kelly. Look, I think she can come good, and she just needs a run of games. So, but I do similar to Liv. What I think it's a big season for her. If she doesn't play often, I think she'll be out the door.
Mhm. All right, moving on. I'm going to give you my opinion on Katie Barker. I think this is another one of the harder ones because I think she's a player who was so key and crucial to Newcastle getting to where they are now. But I think as they continue to grow, I do think it is possibly, if Katie does stay, I think this is going to be probably her last season, or she will be going out on loan. Obviously, she's a little bit younger, which, I mean, age is just a number at the end of the day. She's an incredible player, but we have people like Shania Held, and we are going to be looking to bring in bigger, more experienced players. So as much as I would love to keep Katie, I do think this season she'll be out on loan and then possibly not coming back to the club, as sad as it is, because she's been so key and crucial to Newcastle. But I just think for where the club wants to go, I think it's going to be. I don't want to say I'm going to sell her because that sounds really mean. So I'm going to put her on loan.
Uh, See, I do think Dale Parker's in
It
the house.
is.
I do think we're gonna, and I hate to say this, and we ended up rating. I had she was my lowest rated player at a 4. I think she goes this season. I do. I would love for you
Mhm,
to be right, but I just don't see her fitting into the squad anymore, and it breaks me heart. It really does,
mhm,
because she's my daughter's favorite. Like she's grew up loving and idolizing
mhm.
Katie Parker, and I think a lot of kids have. So it'll be a hard one to take, but I do think she sells. But I'm hoping you're right, Juliet, because I would love to maybe have the prospect of her coming back one day. That would be nice.
Mm.
I think Becky does like
Yeah.
her as well, doesn't she? I think
Yeah.
she's been with
Mm.
her for a long, long time, and we are starting to lose some of that Geordie DNA, aren't we, in the squad? And
Mm.
she hasn't scored this season, so if she does go out on loan, where will she go? Will she stay in the championship? Will she drop a tier? Will she go to Middlesbrough? Because everyone seems to end up in Middlesbrough, don't they? Let's be honest. But it's a big call.
Definitely. It's a tricky one. All right. I think this one, Joe's getting a lot of easy decisions today, or at least I think so. So, Joe, let's see what you think about Freya Gregory.
Oh, yeah. Hi, I'm getting easy ones. I mean,
You
again,
are.
I'm totally loaning Freya Gregory out. She needs more experience on the pitch. No, look, she is an absolute stalwart. Like, you're giving us players who I can get excited about as well, and that's Freya Gregory, I think. Freya Gregory and another player we're going to talk about later, which I've got a feeling I might end up getting as well. You keep all day long, and they're exciting players. Yes, people say Shania Hales goes missing. She's a striker, but when Freya Gregory, when a couple of other players who we're going to mention get on the ball, man, you're excited. You're like, yes,
Smashing.
let's go. So yeah, keep all day.
Smashing. All right. Coming over to Lee for Diana Cooper. What do you think?
Yeah, I think with Diana Cooper, she's absolutely. I mean, she's a contender for player of the season, so she has to be. To keep it, she has to be. She's been absolutely class, and she's gone strength to strength this season in terms of just her performances. Obviously, she did initially struggle when she did first come in, but she's literally just bounced, just being steady Eddie. I was saying to Joe last week as well, I think she's first choice centre back currently at the moment. Even when Potsy does come back and Charlotte Wardle, I think Becky will say, do you know what, Diana Cooper is my first name at centre back, and then it's one of the other two. So yeah, she has to stay. She's just utter class, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
All right, moving on to Claudia Malone. Now, I am definitely keeping Claudia. However, I do personally,
Oop, just
you
crackling.
all know me, I'm dead set that I want Kiara Keating from Manchester. Is it me about this problem?
It's your audio. It's audio. What, if you come out and come in again, and we'll have a little. We'll have a chat.
It feels nice to not be the one who's having all the technical problems.
Go out. Go out the chat if you can hear us. Go out the chat. And then we'll have a look at the live chat. So let's have a look at the live chat because we are live. Of course, this is a wonderful thing. Let's mute Juliet. So let's have a little look. So Dale says a lot of echoing going on. Every time I come in, no sound at all, says Dale. And Matt's gone out to say, evening all. Hope you've had a good day and doing all right. And Ella says hi as well. So do keep your comments coming in. Unfortunately, Dale's having technical problems. Juliet is. Joe, you did it. You had your mic on quiet earlier on.
I know. To be fair, Lee, usually I'm the one who has all of these technical problems. I've had microphones break on us when I'm interviewing Aaron Embleton. Like all of these different things. It's usually me. It feels nice to not be me completely for once. It's all right. It's all right.
It is, isn't it? Look, it can happen whilst we are live. We're live on across Instagram for the first time for quite a while, actually. To be honest with you, and we're live on Twitch, and we are also live on TikTok. Ooh, it's crackly, crackly. It's very crackly. Yeah.
Speaking of crackling, the crackling guy. Should I do one?
See what you did there. Right. Deals back. Hey, they're all jumping in here. This is
Yeah, we
great
go.
fun.
Yeah,
This
we go.
for everybody that is listening. I do apologise for everyone that is listening. It's going wonderfully well here.
Everyone who's listening, make sure you're hitting the screen records and stuff because this is brilliant. This is I it's all going wrong, it's all going mad, and it's I do we keep alone these? I can hear Dale.
Yeah, yeah, Dale as well because he hasn't got the
Dale,
right settings turned on.
Dale, where are you?
Dale hasn't got his settings turned on rightly as well. I can't do anything whilst we're live, unfortunately. Yes, Dale, we can hear you perfectly in the background. The audience can't hear because I haven't added you to the screen.
That's Dale.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Let's see if we can add Dale and then we'll get cracking. Apologies, everyone listening on the audio. It's not great for you listening on the pod, so apologies in advance about that. But look, we've done Deanna. How good has Deanna been so far, Joe?
She's one of those who, like at the first couple of games, you thought she didn't really get a place straight away. Potty then gets injured. Deanna's the one to sort of come into her place, and you think, can she fill the boots of Potty? And my goodness, she's done that brilliantly. And one thing I love about Deanna, right, she's a very forward-thinking player, but she's also one of those all-round defenders, like you describe her as. She's very, very quick to get. She reminds us almost of a Fabian Shea. Do you know what I mean? Like the way she's able to ping the ball up, get an attack started, but then stay back into her position where she needs to be and get back into her centre-back roles. She's done a couple of wonderful goals for her as well. She's been phenomenal this season. Done better than I expected from her at the start of the season. Sometimes you look at age and you think, how long can this person still do a job? And my goodness, Deanna is proof in the pudding that age has put a number. Without doubt.
Yeah, she's been absolutely class as well. And just touch upon Freya Gregory as well. She's had a great first half season. There's big things I'm expecting of her next season as well because she has had a couple of games where she's been very disappointing. I think she feels it more than a lot of players as well.
Yeah.
If she's had a bad game, you know about it. You can see
Yes.
it in body language as well. She's had a great game. She feels good about herself as well. So a very, very big season. So far we've went through Grace Donnelly, Jodie Bartle, Demi Stokes, Amber Keegan-Stubbs, Liv Watt, Alicia Body. Interesting what Juliet did say. I think she's back with us in the green screen back room. Um, we'll add her to it in a moment. Interesting, she said about loaning Alicia, which was interesting. I thought that was a surprise of mine because I wouldn't personally. I would keep Ivan just have a few injuries because I think we need to build the midfield around her. Are you with us again, Juliet? Need to unmute yourself. So there's a little button. Go on then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
We
we're back.
can. Hey, Juliet is back.
Oh, there I am. Oh, goodness me. Oh,
This is why I come prepared for tech issues with other people. So I have different layouts set up and stuff like that. So it happens. It can happen.
brilliant.
We haven't moved on any player. We just had a bit of a recap of what we've talked about so far.
That's so fine. Well, I was up to Claudia Moan, wasn't I? And I think, like I was saying, I think she's brilliant, but I do want to get another keeper, and I'm just dead set on Kiara Keating. I think she's unbelievable. Got that England experience. She's still young. She's still got a lot of developing to do. She's not guaranteed number one at Man City. It's her and Hashimata. So I think bringing her into Newcastle would be epic. But definitely Claudia Moan. Keeping her, I think she's been incredible for us this season. And I think there's still a lot she can do for the club. All right. Moving on. Joe, you have got, I think it's probably your first hard one. Poppy Pritchett, what you thinking?
Oh. It is difficult because we haven't seen that much of her. You've heard of Poppy Pritchard. She's this meant to be a phenomenal future prospect. So, obviously, in the position that it is, she got announced on it. I think it was the World Sevens squad for Man City as a substitute. I don't know if she's had any time yet, but that doesn't rule her out of coming back to the squad.
Mhm.
Not at all. That is a bit of a difficult one because I would love to see keep, but we also need impact players right now. And she did
Mhm.
impress towards the end. I'm gonna keep Poppy. I'm gonna keep her. I'm gonna keep her in hopes that we can loan her out for another season, make up for time lost, and then maybe try and push to get her to stay here. You know, that would be nice. So
Mhm.
keep Poppy. Aim to buy her.
Yeah,
Aim to buy her.
Hundred
good
percent.
plan. All right, Lee, what are you thinking about Hannah Greenwood?
Yeah, keep. I think that's quite an easy one, especially with being a squad player. She's Miss. Sorry, reliable. She's never lets the team down. Where she plays centre back or in front of the midfield. I think Becky really likes her. Looking at how many games she's played as well this season, she's up there with one of the highest for a reason. She doesn't get injured. She plays a lot of games. You know what you get from her. It's full of heart, and I think that there's nothing wrong with her having that in your squad. You can have all the talent in the world, but you need one or two Hannah Greenwoods in that squad that'll give you that bit of heart. And she's not afraid to put her foot in, to get hurt, take someone down, you name it. I think she's just absolute quality for squad player, and that's what we need. So she's already ready made for next season for me. So 100% keep her.
Yep.
Totally agree. Moving on, I think I've got one of my, well, I've had a few tricky ones, but this one, Amy Andrews, I think she was a slight shock people seeing her announce that post because it was a bit of like a, I don't know if cryptic's the right word, but I think people were reading the post thinking, hang on, is she going? Because it was more just like, I've had a great time, I've loved meeting you all, see you all later, pretty much. So I think as much as she didn't get as much playing time as I think she would have expected, I would have liked to see more from Amy. So I would have kept her just to get her into that squad. I think it's a hard squad to break into at the minute. You know, we have a lot of top talent players, but I think Amy is someone who could have brought a lot to the team, but unfortunately just didn't get that opportunity. So I understand why she has gone, whether it was her decision to leave because she didn't get the playing time she wanted, or whether it was, you know, management or agencies, whatever it was. But I would have kept Amy just to see a little bit more from her, and then maybe, you know, after the season decided, okay, you know what, you weren't right for this club, and that's fine because there's always going to be players that are going to join a club that just aren't going to fit into the squad, and unfortunately, that happens in all clubs around the world. But yeah, I would have kept Amy just to see where she went to. Dale, can you hear us? Can we hear you out?
I can hear you now.
Oh, we can hear Dale. Brilliant. Right, Dale, let's give you your first player. I'm going to give you Rachel Furness. Are you keeping Rachel? Are you telling her what you're doing with Rachel?
I would keep Freddie because I know she's been out with injuries. She has been brilliant at centre back and centre mid, and she's just been that. And she's also played in the league experience as well, so she can pass on experience to the younger players and the ones that haven't played at this level. So I would keep Rachel fit.
Mhm.
Just can I go back a question and ask you, Julia, about Amy? Do you think a year at the club's too short for her because she hasn't had the chance to improve her, like to prove herself? Because I
Yeah,
know
I think.
Joe's gonna say something on it.
All
Mhm.
right.
I think. Oh, look at the cats; they're going crazy. I think it
I've got
was.
one as
You
well.
know, we signed her. It was an exciting signing. It was, you know, a lot of prospects to have her come join the club. And then, yeah, I think it would have just been nice to keep her a little bit longer to see. But I mean, I'm no football manager. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, what decisions are going on.
We're
I'm
just
gonna pass it
nodding.
quick to Joe. Joe's desperate to either speak to my cats or speak to you guys.
We're just watching what's happening behind you.
Go on. Right. This is now the cat fighting championship podcast. Pearl is going in. Pearl is going in. Coming from the underneath. She thinks she's Anakin Skywalker, but no. Floretta's got her. She's saying no. You were meant to be the chosen one. You were meant to be the chosen one. I loved you like a sister. I hate you. Yes. Oh, and there we go. She's fallen into the lava. That's it. That is the start of Darth Vader, and round one is done in the Ultimate Cat Fighting Championship. Ladies and gentlemen,
For anyone who is listening, there's two cats, quite young cats, behind Juliet who are playing with each other. That's what's
yep.
going on there.
Yep, and I'm
Probably
running. I've
thinking,
been
what is
up
going
since
on?
5 o'clock this morning. Opened the shop at work. I am like wired on coffee and everything, so there's a lot going on. People who are listening, you need to come and watch it because you will enjoy the fight. I tell you now. Yeah,
For
Amy
once, for
Andrews.
once, my cat's not in view.
I'm gonna literally say 2 words on Amy Andrews and why a year was okay. Ruthlessly ambitious. Done.
Drop.
Shall we have a
All
little
right,
look
well,
at
let's.
sorry, button. Can we have a little look at the live chat? because we are live.
Yeah.
There you go.
They're gonna go mental. Be me
What,
going, I
Sam?
can't get it,
What,
guys.
Sam? What?
Can you see that, Julia? I don't
Can't
want you to read it.
argue with the choices so far,
Yeah,
which people are. That's good.
cool. Sam's acting wise, acting like Chris.
Keep us updated, guys. Let us know what you're thinking. If you disagree, jump in. Let us know.
Cool.
It was interesting that I forgot who said it. Was Katie Barker on loan?
Yeah, I would have possibly said pop Katie on a loan. I didn't want to sell her, as I think we all had sort of the same. Like, we don't want to get rid of her, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So let's move on, Joe. I'm coming back to you, and I'm giving you Isabella Sibley. Let's see what you've got to say.
Ooh. Sibley impressed early on. I think she fizzled out a little bit more towards the back end of the season. I would have liked to have. I know some people say this is a waste in football, but I would have liked to have kept her but loaned her out. So loan. Yeah.
Another season.
Oh no, because it's Haywood who's loan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Haywood's on the loan.
Sibley's not our player.
I keep Sibley's not. See, because Sibley
No,
came from
Crystal Palace.
Crystal. Yes. So I would like to have kept that and then loaned that out. But obviously I would keep her. I would keep her and loan her out. Yeah.
Disagree massively.
Nice.
I
agree as well.
disagree. I disagree massively on that. You know how I feel about it.
Me too. I'll disagree.
I thought she was nice in spells in the first half of the season.
Yep.
But there wasn't enough oomph for me in it. Too soft on the ball, getting nudged off. And I think that kind of proved itself towards the second half. Amy Andrews was getting played there as a second choice ahead of her.
Fair. I think she has a lot of potential. I think a lot of potential.
I think it's nice that we all have different opinions, because everyone watching will also have a different opinion. So it's nice to see that even us guys, we can all have a different opinion on things. I feel we're probably all going to have the same opinion on this next one, but I'm going to come to Lee for Jazz McQuaid.
I mean, she's still really young, so it's you keep Jazz McQuaid. I have been slightly critical of her because she's playing more in a deeper role, which she's still learning that role. And obviously, I know that she's gone to Fernie for advice and stuff like that, because Fernie's obviously and she'll probably kill me for saying that, a good decade or so more older than her. I'll just dig myself a hole.
Your funeral, pal.
I've got a DM coming near on that. I think she's still got a lot. I don't like her particularly in centre midfield. I think she's done a disciplined job. She started the season off well, a couple of assists, got in the England under 23 squad. But I want to see more. I wanted to see more. Where's the goals? Where's the flamboyant? Maybe she hasn't got that license to go forward. So I'll definitely keep her because she's talented and she can do a job on the wing as well if needs be, because she did for the Devs. But is she going to be allowed to have that freedom to play behind the striker? I don't know, but I think that's where she'll blossom. But you've got to keep her 100% because she's talented.
Loan.
Definitely.
Would you loan her? Would you?
I think she has struggled this season. I don't think she's been as impactful as what she was last season. There's no disrespect to Jazz. Everyone knows I think swagger like Jazz all day long. She is fantastic, but I just don't think she's had the impact. And I feel in this season, the play's been in maybe a little bit too physical for her, and I think a loan would do Jazz wonders.
Where would you send her? Would you keep her in the Championship? I'm intrigued.
I would no, not the Championship. Definitely not the Championship. Do you know, honestly, I would like. No, I'm Middlesbrough. No, do you know what? Do you know, for once, I think Jazz is one of those players who needs to go to an international team. Somewhere like maybe a Hammarby. Do you know, like, and because they are a team who are up in the top of their league, and there is some slight competition there, and I think it's more physical, a bit more physical in Europe, and it's a slower pace, so she'd be able to learn a lot there. I don't really think staying in England's right for her right now. I think a nice little European trip for Jazz McQuaid on loan, and then bring her back stronger. I think that would be very beneficial.
Really great option. Definitely. All right, next one. Talking about internationals, we've got an international player. We've got Lois Joel, obviously a Welsh international. Now, I am keeping Lois Joel. I think she has, every time she comes on in a match, she makes an impact. And I think it's really important to have players that, even if they're not starting 11 every match, so that we can have those players that can come on, make an impact, change a game if needs be. And I think Lois is definitely one of those players. Obviously, getting that experience playing with Wales. They've got the Euros this summer, so she's going to come away with so much new knowledge from playing against all of these top players at the Euros, learning off them, getting into that really, really physical international top level football. That experience is going to be invaluable for her to bring back to the team. So definitely keeping Lois Joel.
I'll
All
disagree.
right.
Would you get a
I
game? Would you
disagree.
get a game for Wales though in the Euros?
Well,
Aye.
probably not, but I think
Ah,
even just being there, training, getting to be around all the other players, I think that's important. But Lee was going to disagree, so let's see
I
what he
think
thinks.
if there was an award from the second half to the season, most improved, she would get that. So that's what she's improved on towards the back end of the season. But like me, Joe, and Dale interviewed Becky after the Man United defeat, and the question was put to her about Lewis Joel. And you can just tell by Becky's answer that she wants more from her, and she has
Okay.
given her that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the inconsistency because
Yeah, and I guess if she's had that opportunity to say
she
we
has.
need more from you and haven't brought it.
But for me, if I was playing manager, I wouldn't have kept her.
Mm-hmm.
I agree
And
with
you can
Lee.
let us know in the chat what you think.
I agree with Lee. With Lewis Joel, she hasn't had a massive game. I was like, I'll go at the end of the game going to Lee or Joe or Johnny. Lewis Joel had a great game. It wasn't just. It hasn't been the wow factor. It's just been either for me, it's my opinion, average or below.
So fair
So
enough. I think, it's
my opinion
important
would
that
be
we
below.
all share our different opinions. And again, I think this is going to be a unanimous opinion when it comes to Dale. What are you doing with Charlotte?
Charlotte Potts.
You turned into C3PO again.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Is that Charlotte? Was that Charlotte Potts? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take
Potts,
I'll
yeah.
take that one. I'll keep Charlotte Potts. She's even when she was out injured, she's been on the sidelines, talking to the lasses, giving encouragement. But on the pitch, it gives you 110%. She's not afraid to go into challenges. She wears her heart on her sleeve. For me, she's definitely. I wouldn't say she's first choice, but I'll say she's like kind of like she'll fit in the squad either wherever you want her. She'll stay in there. So I'll keep Charlotte Potts.
Nice, thanks, Dale. Going to come over to Joe. I think you're getting a few hard ones now. I'm going to give you Charlotte Ward or Joe. What are you doing with Charlotte?
That's an
Charlotte.
easy one.
I don't know if you've
Charlotte.
seen his video last week.
Aye. So
Yeah.
Charlotte Wardlow.
Well, was that a 4? You give Charlotte Wardlaw, Joe.
Was it a 4 I give Wardlow? No, I give a 4 to Katie Barker. Wardlow got a 5, wasn't it? Aye.
Still a 5.
Aye. So Wardlow, I've debated back and forth on her. I always want more, and there's been a few times where she's been at fault for goals. And she's at a decent age where she can still grow and excel, but if I was to look at it and go by the words that Becky says that I always quote, and even Mark Skinner stole it from her, and Mark Skinner said the same words a few days ago, ruthlessly ambitious. So with that in mind, I sell her. I sell Charlotte Wardlow.
Wow,
Ruthlessly ambitious to the dark side.
Didn't expect you to sell her.
Disagree.
She's only been here a few months.
Aye, but I just don't see. I don't see the impact right now. We need more. We need Becky and the club want to get promoted. Whether anyone thinks we're ready or not ready or whatever, I feel like this summer is going to be the hard. When this list comes, I think it's going to be the hardest list we're going to, and there's going to be a lot of disagreement and a lot of shouting from people. And I think people like
It's going to make a
Charlotte
great
Wardlow will
podcast
go.
episode for us to talk about it all.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Be great that.
Definitely. All right, moving on back over to Lee, I am giving you Hannah Hawkins.
Yeah, I've already said this last week. I would let her go. I think I agree with what you said earlier, Julia. I think the goalkeeping department could do with a bit of an improvement. I think Claudia's fine, but no problems with that. I think she's had a decent season, but uh, it worries me the backup options. And she's not in her young 20s anymore, Hannah, is she? From the couple of, I mean, it's hard to judge her by a couple of League Cup games that were had, but yeah, I mean, Liverpool scored fun past her, which look, there was a couple of worldies in there which I couldn't do anything about. Everton. Um, I just think the whole goalkeeping department, like Grace has departed. I think Hannah should go personally, and I think there should be a couple of youngsters being brought in so they would be developed, and then they would go on and replace Claude Amon, and that's the way I would do it. But there's no evidence to say, oh, she's a great number two, her, isn't she? Can I get rid of her?
Yeah.
There's not enough evidence to suggest that. So unfortunately, I would let her go.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision, definitely. And I think, like you said,
Yeah.
feel like it'd be a strong enough number two. Like, in my opinion, like I said, I'm no football manager, but I think we need Claudia more as our number two and to bring in a really, really, really solid number one. So then it's like, then what would happen with somebody like Hannah if we did decide to keep her? So I think that's the right decision. Now, next decision is mine, and I'm thankful it's mine because I think it's possibly the easiest decision of the night. It's Beth Lumsden. There is no chance we are letting her go. We are keeping Beth Lumsden forever. She's incredible. Player of the
Forever.
season,
Who put the
just
ball in the Markham's net? Who put the
the bet.
ball
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Markham's net? Super Beth Lumsden.
I was just too excited. I wanted to get it in. But yeah, she's you can't sell Beth Lumsden. I think she's someone who's deserving, even an England call up to get that experience. She is playing unbelievably. Obviously, still a lot of room to grow, a lot of things to learn along the way, but she's you
I love her,
cannot
mate.
sell Beth Lumsden.
I love her, mate. I think she's just class.
Here's
Everything.
a question for you, though. We all know it's a keep for Beth Lumsden, but what happens if the Super League comes in?
We're not there yet. They'll worry
If
about that
you,
later on. Or do you mean
if
who comes in for her?
yeah, so for instance, like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea come in for Beth Lumsden, and then all of a sudden we say no, she's going to be, will she be happy to stay, or just she want to go to the Super League?
It's a very, very tough ask to turn down a WSL side. So I don't think she'll
I
play
Mhm.
in the
don't think
game.
she wouldn't
Yeah,
be starting. She'd
be a
be
squad
keeping the
player.
bench warm over there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But still, it's a Super League team. You know what I mean? You got a chance to go into like the Champions
She's capable
League,
of doing
and
it. She's definitely capable of playing for a bottom half WSL side, 100%. Same as I would probably. There's only a couple of players I would say that could potentially do that in the squad. She's one of them.
Definitely, she's great. So yeah, we're definitely keeping Beth. I'm going to come back over to Dale. I'm going out of order from what I've got because I know Joe's desperate for a certain player. So I'm going to come to Dale with Leah Cataldo, our number 99. What are you thinking, Dale?
keep Leah. She's massively improved from last season. I know she's had a couple of injuries, but she's been solid. She's been solid right back. In going forward, she supports the right wing as well. So I think we're good. There is more. She's getting more comfortable with the back line now, and more comfortable, which is good to see. Because the first time when we first bought her, she didn't look happy. She didn't look like she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't trust anyone, but she just gelled in now, and she's doing really well in first choice right back.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, I'm going to come over to Joe for, I think, I could be wrong, I think this is definitely one of Joe's favourite players, and it is our Irish
And that's all
international, Emily Murphy.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am debuting a new chant right now. I am so glad you've given me Emily Murphy. Everyone's heard Nancy Mulligan by Ed Sheeran. So, she was Emily Murphy, plays for Republic Island. She took the ball and scored us one down to the Kingston Park. Go, Emily Murphy, I am keeping her forever. Forever. She is fantastic. She is the most exciting. It's hard to say because Beth Lumsden and Freya Gregory are both very exciting. But for me, the most exciting player we have is Emily Murphy, then Beth Lumsden, then Freya Gregory. Murphy is an absolute keeper. Congratulations to her. She's just graduated as well. Like, what a player. Keeper forever and ever and ever. Amen. I just got dropped by Juliet. Anyways, yes.
I'm just so excited by Emily Murphy because I completely agree. She's brilliant. I think her, Freya, and Beth, they were my top three players of the season when they're just the three of them together are brilliant. And I think we're going to pop over to the live chat, have a little look before we move on to our final few players who are our lone players. So let's jump out from the live chat. So please pick anything out.
Yeah, Matt's gone. I think Wardlow would have learned a lot from Deanna, Demi, and Fernie the last 6 months, and she's going to keep on developing well around Potts as well. Has made some mistakes, but we'll definitely keep her. Laney's in the chat. Hello, Laney's regular at the last games. Waiting for this one, Matt was saying, and then Caitlin's asked about what do we think of the new home shirt. I like it, mate.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it.
There we go. All right. Shall we move on to our 4 players on loan? So we've got 1 each. Who are we up to? We're up to Lee. Give me a number 1, 2, 3, or 4. I'm going to give you a random player.
3.
3. Okay. Sophie Hayward.
Oh, that's one I didn't want. Let go, unfortunately. I don't think she's good enough. As horrible as that might sound, and a lovely, lovely person, by the way. So we've interviewed her in a couple of times in the press. Such an upbeat lass, brilliant, but she's just not getting any game time at this level in the championship. So she's went out on loan. I can't really comment on how well she's done on loan, but I just think if you've been brought into the club with a lot of experience, you have to remember she has a lot of experience in the championship with Sheffield United and Villa, and she's come to Newcastle. She's barely playing, and she's been sent out on loan. That tells me that her future's not at Newcastle United for me. But I would let her go, and I think that would be the right call. I can't really see any years disagreeing with that. Surely, unless Joe wants.
I totally agree.
I agree. I do fully agree with that one. That's sound. I love it. Loud up, fam.
All right. Let's come over to Dale. Give me a number 1, 2, 4.
2. 2.
You've got Becky Ferguson.
Loan. I would loan her because she's not going to get ahead of Shania Hill, and we've got Beth, we've got Murphy that can go up front, we've got Katie can go up front, so she's like not even in like the first 4 choices. So I would put her on loan again. Hopefully a championship side like an Ipswich or Nottingham Forest, maybe one of them, just like come in on loan, and then like in the championship to give her more experience.
I think tier 3. Take that next step from tier 4. See if she can make it a tier 3. Because she's still young. She's what, 20? She's still young.
Yeah.
So George Juliet is going to get Gibson and Daisy Burke. One.
Oh, is it you? No, Juliet. Sorry, didn't hear.
No, you could go.
No.
Well, I was going to try and make sure
you're the host. Sorry, my bad. Okay, I'll shut the fuck up.
It's my job.
Come on, kid. Come on. Calm down.
Save it for good. You managed to get yourself a good player, because I'm going to take number 4, which is Daisy Burt, and I think again it's one of those like decision you don't want to make, but it's going to be a sell. I think a great player.
I think all of us disagree there.
I'm going to on loan. I don't think she's going to come back and get a lot of football with us. So maybe another season on loan at a club in a slightly. I mean, I don't really follow Derby much because I don't know how other we do. I know she's been playing great for them. Maybe take her to a bigger club to get that time. But I just think if we bring her back to Newcastle, she isn't going to get the playing time that she's getting elsewhere. But please shoot me down. It's fine.
Loan.
Well,
you got shut down.
I wouldn't loan out keeper. I think she's had a couple of seasons out on loan out, have her second choice to Leah Cataldo. I try and learn from her because I think she will play a few games. She's rarely injured as well. And I believe she's taking penalties for Derby as well, which really surprised me. So I would keep her. I think she's still really young, a bit like Becky Ferguson. So there's still plenty of time to develop her. So I wouldn't even loan her out. Keep her on the squad. Get her to learn from Leah Cataldo.
But I haven't watched her much at Derby, so I haven't really seen enough probably to give her really strong opinion on, so that's totally fair enough. And we're going to finish off with, again, I think another one of Joe's favourite players. You've been very lucky tonight, Joe, and it is Miss Georgia Gibson.
I look on a personal level. Would I keep Georgia? I would all day long, but it's a professional level, and I go back again to quote Becky again. Becky Langley, I'm sorry, you're going to have to start charging me every time I say these words. Ruthlessly ambitious. It's time to let Georgia Gibson go. It's that time now. I don't think she stays on at the club and excels. I don't think she's going to ever be first choice. It would take a lot of stepping up for her to be first choice when you look at the midfield we've got. It's hard to place her against most of the ones when even half of them are fit. So she's been a great service to the club, but for me, you do sell Georgia Gibson, let her go somewhere where she can get first team football, and all wish her the best. And maybe she can come back as a coach, because she does teach. And maybe she'll come back as a coach one day and fill the boots of someone like Becky Langley, which I would love to see.
Middle then, where would you send her? I'm intrigued to know.
I think, look, like Georgia's done a good job. I don't think she goes championship. She's struggled to get in our side. So I don't think she fits anywhere else in the championship. Maybe she does a job at a lower tier championship side, maybe like a Portsmouth. But for me, you send her back into tier 3, keep her around there, and maybe even Middlesbrough and get them up. Get them up, because she's capable. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to.
Also, Joe, you've got to think she's got an international career now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
with
maybe go over to UAE.
What they called it? Is it's UAE, isn't it? Aye. So she needs constant football. What?
That's a country, mate.
Yeah, I know that. I know I'm not that bad at geography. I know the country names, just not where they are. Right. But I know sell Georgia. Let her move on. Let her get first team football and excel as much as she can in her international career.
There we go. Well, that's all of the current / some not current anymore because we've had the decision, but our 2024-2025 season players. That is all of our opinions. Obviously, what our opinions are so relevant. Becky, she might listen and she might go, you know what, Joe, I'm going to take your advice on that.
Exterminate.
Who's getting on, who we're losing. I do think, like Joe said, there is going to be a few shockers in there. There's going to be definitely some big talking points, which obviously make sure you're like and subscribing to the pod, because there will be an episode all about the list when we get it out there. But hopefully everyone's enjoyed. I'm going to hand you over to Lee in case there's anything he wants to say before we wrap everything up.
No, that's it. No, apologies just about all the tech issues. I think everyone's had a few gremlins tonight, but it's the first time that all 4 of us have jumped on to do the pod as well. So we'll just make sure everyone's all mic'd up and all that next time. We'll do a few tests. But yeah, it's been a good show.
Thank you all for watching. Make sure to give us a like, a comment, a subscribe, a follow on Instagram, on TikTok, all over. And we'll see you soon for a new episode. Joe's off.